And welcome back, folks, to another lesson in CSS. Today we're going to focus on styling our links. By default, when you have links in here, and I added a couple more in here just so we can see these, you'll notice that the link text is blue. And when I hover over it in my web page, let me just go here to preview mode. You will see that if I've clicked on those links, they will have changed. Otherwise, if I hover it, nothing happens. So let's go ahead and change it so that this web page is a little bit more dynamic in how the text will function. And in order to do that, we have to use CSS. So I'm going to go in here and add to our CSS code that we've added in stuff before. And I'm going to add in a series of codes. Alright, and I've added in the CSS code here for those types of links. And you see there are 4 different types of links that we will have. There's what's called an unvisited link, which means that you've never been to that web page before. You have a visited link. You have mouse over and selected. And the difference between these ones right here is it is a unvisited link. Again, you've never clicked on that link before. A visited link means that you have clicked on that link. Mouse over simply just means your mouse is hovering over it. And you can see if I hover over these links right now, you'll see that they change the color. And lastly is active, and what that means is if I were to come up and click and hold on that link, that's the color you would expect it to change to. And of course, you can find these either by color name, or even those you can do by hex code or RGB value. Now we do kind of want to make sure that the order that we place these link codes in here are the order that you see here. So always do the unvisited followed by the visited, by the mouse over, by selected. That's the order that you want your CSS code in here. So it should always go in here to kind of avoid any errors. Now, a little bit more on this is maybe you can, let's say you want to do something more on this. So maybe you want to do things like maybe you want to do a background color instead of just a color. So I can come in here and I can say, hey, I want to do background color. And it's just like any other CSS that you've done. And you can come in here and you can define that using a set of values. And you see that it will set the background color to a certain thing. If I want to change that, maybe for a visited link, I can come in here and I can change that. You don't see this usually as often because a lot of times they'll just set it to be whatever the color of the web page is. And then the link itself has the colors on it. But sometimes you do see this, so when people come over and click on things, it will change them. And so that's why if you want, when the person clicks on a link, it adds a box effect around it. But again, you don't really see that generally too much. And it's usually because in HTML5 websites, again, it can interfere with the color scheme that you may use with CSS3. More often than not, if we actually want our links to stand out rather than doing something like this, what we're going to end up using instead will be like images or other things like that, which is something that's a little more advanced than what we're talking about right now. But just to kind of give you some background of some of the different things that you can do. Now, I will also mention one other thing, which of course is the ability to do text decorations. And text decorations in links are like, let's say, for example, you want to have an underline effect, or you wanted to do this or do that. So I'm going to go here to the hover text, and I'm going to add text-decoration. And you can see I have a couple options here. I can do overline or underline. Underline is the most common one. And so that means now if I hover over these, it'll going to give it an underline effect too. I can also choose to do, let's say, text decoration none, which will remove a lot of that stuff that you normally would find in there. And so if I do that, you can see that the links have no underline on them by default, but later on, once I do the hover over, they should have that on there. So let me just save this, and we will go ahead and refresh this page here. All right, and you can see they don't have the underline effect on it, but once I hover over them, you can see how that changes, and you can see like these 2 links haven't visited, so that's why they're red. This link has not been visited, so it's blue. And if I hover over it, you'll see that they are pink. And if I click and hold, you'll see that it changes color once more. All right, and that concludes this lesson, folks. Until next time.